Let's dig a little deeper into this and join Max Keiser over in London. Max is the host, of course, of RT show The Keiser Report. Max, always good to see you. So there we have the Trump story breaking with the words explosive but unverified. Why would respected media, CNN, Guardian and the like, take up information with such a high potential of being fake news?
Union, everyone's missing a point. I want to make a point here. No one's caught it. Back in December, just a couple of days before Christmas, Barack Obama passed the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, which legitimized and legalized propaganda by the U.S. government to the U.S. people. So this is obviously now, we're seeing U.S. propaganda. CNN is now obviously an instrument of the U.S. government propaganda. The New York Times and BuzzFeed are now instruments of U.S. government propaganda by law, by the NDAA. Not only does it give them the ability to propagandize inside America, but it also means they can censor other competing news outlets, and it also means they're going to spend a lot of money toward creating new news organizations. And that amounts to a bailout of CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. Their ratings were going into the toilet. Les Moonves of CBS said, Trump saved us. Without Trump, we would have gone out of business because the news in America is dead. But thanks to Trump, they started making some money. And thanks now to this NDAA, pro-propaganda law, they're going to get hundreds of billions of dollars from the U.S. taxpayer to bail out American media. It's a huge bailout scheme. I say, compete on the truth. Yeah, RT is a dynamic, fast-growing news organization. We've got a bias toward truth. What's your bias? Come out here and give us real news, not your fake propaganda BS.
Well, they came out, CNN, saying that they have a statement that their report varies significantly from BuzzFeed. That didn't want to be put in the same yard as BuzzFeed, saying that Trump's transition team are aware of the differences. But that hasn't seemed to appease the president-elect, has it, given his reaction to the channel at the news briefing today?
Look, CNN is trying to argue that they've got the most fingers in the leper colony. At the end of the day, they're still propagandists and lepers. Donald Trump rightly called CNN fake news. The president-elect of the United States rightly calling CNN, and by extension, all mainstream American news organizations, fake news. They make Alex Jones look like Walter Cronkite. This is a truly historic moment in the news business. How far we've come from Edward R. Murrow to the Tapper. This fella Tapper over at CNN, who is just a ridiculously over-the-top propagandist and slimeball. You know, where is American news? It's in the toilet. People are relying on RT because RT gives actual journalistic truth. And as a result, it's doing fabulously well in the global news business and continues to expand because people want news. RT gives them news.
Max, CNN, sorry to harbour the point, but I really want to get to the bottom of this, and it's always great to get your take on such issues, because we know that they went ahead, they published a story on the dossier, despite the details being extremely vague. When it comes to media ethics, what's the implications of this? Because you've got a new incoming president, it's a damaging story, it hasn't been verified. This is how that presidency is starting on January the 20th.
Union, you seem to be like missing what I'm saying here. As of December 23rd, propaganda has been legalized in America. So CNN is a propagandist. You don't rely on them. You're trying to put lipstick on a pig. You know, CNN is a pig. You can't change it by putting lipstick on it. It's a propagandist. Don't try to nuance and figure out, well, why would they suddenly repackage this fake news and with allegations that it came from a quasi-credible source from a memo that was leaked to a third body and then repackaged and through a channel and a back channel. CIA is the people who killed JFK. Why should we believe the CIA is credible in this?
What does this mean, Max? Sorry, what does this mean for CNN and other mainstream media in the US when Trump becomes president?
It just means that they're going to continue down the downward slope of irrelevancy. If you watch, there was a study done 2 years ago that people who watch Fox News are actually dumber than people, or less informed than people who watch no news at all. Now, with CNN, I would say your IQ would take a shellacking. You would lose IQ points if you watch CNN. They do nothing but, leading up to the Iraq War, they were cheerleaders for genocide. Leading up to the Hillary loss, they were cheerleaders for a woman who's a warmongering, bank bailout favoring murderer of foreign powers we saw in Libya, and laughing about it. You know, what a joke, what a creature. I mean, of course she lost. And CNN is now completely uncredible. I mean, today's Trump speech, he mentioned that the pharmaceutical industry is now going to have to bid for pharmaceutical products. That's a huge news story. But instead, the salacious CNN, with their mind in the toilet, is focusing on prostitutes peeing in Moscow, okay? I mean, this is like the Pope calling alt media coprophagists. It's completely outside the scope of what we would consider to be normal behavior by the establishment. Let's focus on what Trump is saying. The pharmaceutical industry is going to be pressured to offer their products at a competitive price. That's an enormous piece of news that should be the headline today. Not that Jake Tapper or some CNN, apparatchik of the U.S. government is embarrassing themselves by pushing propaganda. We already knew that. So let's not hash that over again. The guy's an illegitimate. His career is over. If he continues to work in the news business, he should become a clown at a fast food restaurant. Would be serving his talents greater than trying to pose as a journalist.
Donald Trump, Max, has been extremely active on social media, hasn't he? Is he just going to continue that way to speak to American citizens and largely avoid using the press? He does seem concerned about leaks, fake news making headlines in the briefing, doesn't he?
The social media is the news business. The news business has been disintermediated out of existence. Remember when the plane went down in the Hudson River suddenly, and the people were tweeting live from the wing of the plane in the middle of the river before any news crews showed up. People are live streaming from these events. You don't need a news bureau to send out a camera team and get there 6 hours after the event to report on what's going on. It's already being live streamed, so he's going directly to the American people. This is direct democracy in action. I hope he continues with this notion and offers some referendums to the American people for more direct democracy in action and extend the social media phenomenon to characterize and to change how politics is done in America. Also, I would suggest to anyone looking to get into politics in America, the Democratic Party is now completely decimated. Run as a Democrat somewhere in the country. I'm thinking about running as a Democrat, as a matter of fact, for Congress in the 6th District of North Carolina, the election in 2018. I'm considering running for Congress in this district as a Democrat, because I think that this is really the place and the time to get into a political career, because there's going to be no opposition, and there's going to be no one there to, you can reinvent the politics as you see fit. And I'm seriously considering this. I'll make a formal announcement probably in March.
I can see you getting quite the amount of votes. Max Keiser, the views of Max Keiser, we should say, in that interview. Always a pleasure having you in the program. Thanks, Max.